And here we go. Alright, so it looks like MetaLow finding Bubble Man and going to stick with it. Crabcake's going through the reset strategy and also finding Bubble Man. So, trading a little bit of information.
Yeah, it didn't look like either runner found Crash or Heat.
So it looks like probably Crabcake's just going to go through the stages that she found and know are safe. MetaLow may end up losing a little bit of time, you know, running into a whammy a little bit earlier than he would like. But to be honest with you, with how close these runs have been, I would hate to see the difference come down to both of the runners basically executing, you know, perfectly, and it be, you know, Crabcake's reset strategy, which has worked out so well for her throughout this tournament so far in the group stage, you know, end up backfiring. It would be just such a shame.
Well, it looks like she's catching up to MetaLow right now.
Well, both runners are going to have to deal with the same problems, and it does look like they're mere seconds away from each other heading into the boss gate. 150 as opposed to 153 for opening the boss gate into the boss's room.
Oh, with Heat Man in the water, you can do a little manipulation by getting super close to him.
Well, it looks like that's exactly what MetaLow is doing. Crabcake's flirting with disaster, getting a little too close to those spikes, but losing a little bit of time here. You know.
Oh, with both runners finding an item 3 for their troubles, that'll make Crash Stage a bit easier when they get there.
Alright, so a little bit of a divergence here. Flash and Metal Man for our respective runners. Fairly straightforward and easy stages for both, I would hope. Ooh, Sniper Joe Army for MetaLow here in the Metal Man stage.
Yeah, the Joe Army is coming out strong today in Metal Man stage.
See, that's what I refer to as the hamburgers, the ones on Crabcake's stream. But here we go, MetaLow making their way through the first section without much issue. Crabcake's not far behind. No reason to drop to the right to get the energy, so Crabcake's gonna hope for a free path here. Well, toothpaste dispenser. Gonna immediately bail out, knowing that's just not gonna happen.
Yeah, that's kind of a tough enemy for that spot, being on those one-tile blocks.
Yeah, you're gonna take a hit and get knocked off the block, so not worth trying at that point. I mean, you do have one weapon, so maybe give it a shot, but, oh, and it was Metal Blade, too.
Oh, this could be a very good fight with Heat Man.
For Crabcakes, yeah, this is fortunate. Heat Man won't move enough that he'll shoot out his fireballs. He'll just literally stay on top of Crabcakes. He does not move up or down, only left or right. So a relatively free Heat Man fight for Crabcakes.
Relatively free, relatively slow, but, you know, making it out safe. Both runners going into a wood stage. We have some Metal Man music in wood stage.
Can't argue with that. So Crabcake's a little bit behind in the stage, although with only one stage in common, it's hard to say who's really ahead at this point. I would want to say MetaLow, but as things develop, we'll see how we look a couple more stages into things.
I think it's going to be really close up until the Wily stages. I think a lot will depend on if MetaLow decides to go with the suicide drop, or if he's just going to be safe and jump around it.
Well, MetaLow may very well have lost Game 1 because of failing the suicide drop. Able to execute his way through, thanks to unfortunate death by Crabcakes in the refights, able to get through the mistake and pull away with better RNG on the alien. So I hope he does not do it in Game 3, because it feels like flirting with disaster. Not something I would want to do in a tournament setting. He kind of got away with it.
Oh, we got a barely visible Bubble Man on MetaLow's screen. He's camouflaged.
Well, he's also out of there pretty quickly.
Never seen him.
Yeah, Crabcakes dealing with doing their best Ghostbuster impression, getting that Ghost of Bubble Man out of there, and unfortunately finding Heatman straight away with only item 3 to work with. Ooh, this is gonna be a little rough. This is gonna be a lot of rough, unfortunately, seeing that Fan Fiend. Crabcakes, I would go for the Lava Bath. Yeah, Crabcakes is out of there.
Very wise.
So gonna lose a little bit of time, but go hunting for those items. Maybe even a time stopper, knowing that you need it.
Well, it looked like she did have the time stopper, but she didn't want to take the risk with, such a long stage, and you might run out of time stopper before you get to the end of it.
Oh, that's very true. This is not a fun Airman stage either. Seeing the Fan Fiend straight at the start, and the crabs that'll just jump on your head when you try to jump across the gap. Oh, not an easy opening. Crabcakes, however, remembering, to exercise caution. When crab legs are dropping on top of you, one will drop to the right, the next will drop to the left. So Crabcake's making sure to shoot the ones on the right, and then while the ones on the left are dropping down, that's when she moves forward.
Yeah, that is right. Crabcakes does indeed know what to do with these crabs, making cakes out of them in no time.
I see what you did there.
Oh, okay, so Crabcakes found Heatman stage and opted out. Now we got MetaLow, who just found Crashman stage, but he does have the item 3, but no items that will help him through these elevator rooms.
Now this could cost him because he's going to have to go the whole way on the elevator. The enemies aren't anything that is really going to threaten him. If anything, they're almost a non-issue. It's more the amount of time you lose by having to ride this elevator. And Crabcake's finding item 1 in Airman stage, so Crabcake's gonna head into this Crashman stage at some point. And here's where the advantage for Crabcakes is going to manifest itself. MetaLow is wasting 15-20 seconds taking this little ride here, where Crabcakes can just opt out of it, item 1 up, and be done with. Oh no. Oh no. Guess where item 2 might be. Yet again.
Yeah, I'd say item 2 is either in Heatman stage, or we're gonna find it here at the end of Crash.
Yeah, if it's not here in Crash, at this point we've got a 50-50 between item 2 being in Crash or Heat, and we're about to eliminate one of the possible suspects. So we could have an item 2 gated behind Heatman in every single run of this race, presuming we don't end up with a Game 4. And you know what? I wouldn't be all that dissatisfied if we ended up with a Game 4, with how close things have been so far.
Yeah, if it is locked in Heatman stage, I would say this Heat stage is being awfully greedy today with that item 2.
Well, ooh. With the fan fiends getting thrown in, this is a pretty rough go of things. MetaLow using an E-Tank and choosing also not to pick up the E-Tank as well. No items available to make his way back up. He'd have to, I believe, go all the way back down. Crabcake's into Quickman stage. So saving the best for last, as it were, for Crabcakes. MetaLow disposing of Quickman at the end of the Crashman stage.
Oh, he found it.
Alright, so disaster somewhat averted. So if MetaLow can make it through the beginning section of Heatman, he will have the benefit of item 2. However,
Yeah, I would say disaster averted for both runners as they have not finished Heatman stage yet.
well, Crabcakes is going to have an advantage when she gets into the Crashman stage, having the item 1 from Airman stage. MetaLow going to find the bad news as both of the runners going through relatively easy stages compared to others on the list. Crash, for example. MetaLow opting for the item 2, but not checking the crash wall.
Ooh, that is a nice weakness on Airman. With the air shooter. Nice.
Yeah. Well, that is good knowledge for Crabcakes. And Crabcakes, knowing where Heatman is and what's in there, opting out and going into Crashman stage. So MetaLow kind of butting heads with Heatman here, using one of his E-Tanks, and it doesn't look like he's... Well, he may have switched to Bubble Lead, it looked like.
Yeah, it looked like MetaLow was having a hard time with Buster fighting Heatman. On those high platforms, it can be hard to jump over him, jump around him, and avoid that fire damage.
So Crabcake's going to make up some time, relatively speaking, as item 1 going to propel her through these elevator stages that MetaLow had to, unfortunately, wait out. So a bit of a time save here for Crabcakes.
Huge save.
And LB Creed dropping some knowledge that I wanted to say myself, but ended up overlooking while the race developed itself. So, Crabcake's opting for Time Stopper, and it looks like it's going to be a single shot time stop, making it through the Shrimp Avalanche here, as MetaLow opting to item 2 his way through Airman. Gonna have to be careful that he, alright, using a pause buffer to make sure he lands on solid ground and not just falling all the way to the abyss.
Yeah, unfortunately that time stopper negated any time that Crabcakes could have saved using that item 3 on the ladder.
Yeah, unfortunately, if you have an item going, you cannot open your menu, and it looks like Crabcake's going to open up a can on Flashman there with Metal Blades.
Yeah, that's another huge time save, because MetaLow, I think he opted to use the Buster on that Flashman fight.
He did. So, both of our runners going into Heatman stage, both of our runners will have all 3 items available. So even with, well, Crabcakes does have a bit of an advantage. She knows what's waiting for them at the end of this second jump. MetaLow about to get the bad news. Plop.
Yeah, that's going to put him behind even farther.
Oh man, this is... you're definitely gonna earn it getting through this first part of the Wily stage, and Crabcake's doing her best to make it through this...
Well, not quite a Wily stage, but it may as well be with this enemy set.
Oh, the Lightning Lords feel like a bit of a reprieve in the second section here.
The nice thing about the Lightning Lords here is you can also use their platforms to move by.
Well, I think Crabcake's just wanting none of it. And here we go with the item 2. So Crabcake's just gonna, take the direct line through item 2 on the way. A little too high to pick up the 1-up.
That's okay. I'd rather ride a little bit higher on that item 2 than to ride too low and hit the top of that pillar and totally stop.
Yeah, that could be inconvenient, to put it bluntly. Oh, now Crabcake's... I guess that wouldn't be too... Oh, this is gonna be close. Oh. I'm not sure I agree with using my last E-Tank here, but Crabcake's making it through Woodman at the end of the Heatman stage, so we are now confronted by Game 3, everything on the line, and now the most intimidating eyebrows in gaming show up to just taunt you even further. I would be rattled out of my mind at this point if I were Crabcakes. But you know what? The show must go on, and since we're at Wily 1, that means it's time to throw out a little bit of a mission. So your mission, should you choose to accept it, we have the dragon at the end of Wily Stage 1. You may choose the color, as well as, for a little bonus prize, go for what item, or excuse me, what weapon will the dragon be weak to? I see the guesses are coming in droves here. Everybody getting a little bit of a head start, so since you went first last time, I'm going to go with a green dragon and fire. Charged fire.
Ooh, very nice. Let's see. As I see all this purple, I'm going to go with the Grimace purple dragon, weak to the quick boomerang.
Okay. So it shouldn't be too long. Crabcake's making the ascent up. MetaLow, of course, while I was doing my little spiel, I did not look at the timers to see how much of a difference we had. I will definitely do so at the end of this stage. Yeah, weak to item 2. Yeah, 2% Chungus coming in with the...
Okay, we got a bit of a mixed color dragon here. I'd say it's mostly gray with some aqua seafoam highlights.
Well, we were both wrong on the weapon, and Crabcake's dumpstering the dragon just using the plain old Buster Shot. So we're looking at 2036 for Crabcakes. So here we'll see if MetaLow just instantly opts out of the Buster, or at least taking one shot at it with... Oh, there we go. MetaLow just destroying the dragon.
Very nice. Yeah, the Buster is a very good weakness for the dragon, as you don't have to search for other weaknesses, and you get to save, you know, your weapon energy at the same time.
Yeah, absolutely. We're looking at about 30 seconds for Crabcakes at this point, as an advantage. So MetaLow will chip into that a little bit. Crabcake's actually struggling with this wall, trying everything, and nothing seems to work. Charged heat? There we go. Found something. Not sure
It
what
was
it is.
the crash bomb.
Oh.
Well,
Alright.
the last race, Crabcakes tried the crash bomb first, and it was a long wait for it to explode. So I think she was thinking, you know, I'm going to try a different weapon first, and she used the crash bomb last.
Oh. So, a little bit of tilt, as it were, coming in from Crabcakes going, alright, I got stung by this last seed, so I'm gonna, you know, insulate myself, as it were. Ooh, MetaLow using an E-Tank. So Crabcakes into the Pico Block fight first.
Ooh, wow. Another great weakness for Pico.
Will MetaLow do it? No!
Ooh.
Opts out. Okay.
Right at the last second.
This is when you know MetaLow is not messing around. He does not want to leave anything to chance here, but little does he know that Crabcakes, even with the lack of the suicide drop gaff, Crabcakes still marginally ahead, finishing up Wily 2, let's call it 23 even. So MetaLow, here we go, tick-tock goes the clock, as MetaLow, we're going to see how much of a time advantage Crabcakes has. We're looking at 16, 17, 18, 19 seconds, maybe 20.
Yeah, I think any surprise that catches them off guard can definitely bring that time down.
It could just be simple execution. I mean, it was... You know, the last game literally came down to who found the weakness for the alien first, and it was MetaLow who guessed right, compared to Crabcakes, unfortunately. You know, from Crabcake's point of view, at least. I would think from MetaLow's point of view, it's anything but unfortunate to essentially steal away, you know, a win when you were behind. But as Falconic brings up, it was about a 30-second gap going into the Wily stages, so we'll see where we're
Crabcakes
at.
finds the bubble and doesn't believe it, actually goes back to the menu and then unpauses to do a double take to finish off the Guts tank with the bubble.
Well, here we go. We'll see how long it takes MetaLow to figure out he needs to be using the bubble here. Actually, he's found the Metal Blade. So let's see if any real tangible change has come from the lead. It doesn't look like it. Maybe a second or two. So Wily3 being a wash of sorts. Ooh, Shotman actually causing Crabcakes a little bit of an issue. Maybe the nerves are kicking in for Crabcakes. Fatigue, possibly. You know, they've been going at it for the better part of 2 hours now. At this point, my time, they started at 3, and it's a couple minutes away from 5. So, 2 hours of this, edge of your seat, these runners couldn't be any more equal. Look at the weapons status that they have. Their life is exactly the same. Their weapon energy is exactly the same. So it's going to come down to who can get through the Chanky Makers here in Wily 3.
Yeah, these change key makers can be quite difficult in these elevator rooms.
Crabcake's dropping down, going to go for item 1. Crabcake's made it through, no problem. MetaLow opting for the same strategy, just deciding to damage boost through. So MetaLow through the panic room. So, oh, this is so close.
Just some minor Joes guarding the hallway, dropping some health in the way.
So 2644 compared to 2652. So the lead is actually deteriorating before our very eyes as MetaLow, it feels like able to out-execute Crabcakes, if only by a minor little bit. However, Crabcakes still has a lead, and it doesn't matter if it's 4 seconds or 40. Crabcakes has 2 turrets left. MetaLow destroying all the crash walls, and going to have to use a little bit of time here. Oh, just step back a little, Crabcakes. Oh, now you gotta wait for that item 1 to disappear. Oh no! Oh, that's so brutal. Alright, 2750 on their way out for Crabcakes. MetaLow 3-4 seconds behind going into the refight.
Yeah, I'd say he's about 4 seconds behind.
So this is a matter of, can MetaLow maintain this gap and or somehow shorten it? Crabcakes looking for items. Thought it was the Leaf Shield, but remembering it's the bubble for Heatman, and he's out of there. So that's a potential time save, as MetaLow's going to buster down that Heatman most likely. And that's going to take some time.
Yeah, hopefully Crabcakes can remember all the weapon weaknesses that she was able to find earlier in the race.
LV Creed saying Quick was the weakness for Heat. We'll see if MetaLow knows that or not. For Crabcakes, it seemed to be, the bubble lead, but Crabcakes just lowering her shoulder and, hike and crash the line of scrimmage there against Woodman. I think that was Flashman that just got, instantly deleted by Crabcakes. I blinked my eyes and, already into their 8th Robot Master, MetaLow on number 7. Crab Cakes going into the Wily machine. I believe they both have at least an E-Tank in reserve. I really wish I had a camera so I could give my card facepalm meme, you know, impersonation here. Oh, this is so painfully close. We're looking at 30-25 for Crab Cakes. So Crab Cakes has out-executed MetaLow in these refights. Crab Cakes into Victory Road, while MetaLow's still working on second phase.
Yeah, hopefully the weapon ammo that she needs is in good supply.
Oh, this is so disgusting. But, you know, looking at things, Crab Cakes got 10-15 seconds worth of advantage from using the weapons in the refight, whereas MetaLow didn't seem to. Alright, Buster's a no. Oh, there we go. Found it. That's a crash bomb.
Very
wow.
nice.
And the upset is complete. Crab Cakes taking Game 3, winning this match 2-0. I was about to say 2-0, but 2-1 over MetaLow. So our defending champion, MetaLow, is going to have to work his way through the losers bracket to defend his title. And Mega Kyle, looks like you have yourself an opponent.
It looks like I do. I'm very excited. Well,
So,
GG's to both runners.
Yeah. Wow. So MetaLow finishing up, get the official SRL times in short order so we could announce those, but looked like a pretty definitive victory for Crab Cakes in Game 3, all told. Wow.
Yeah, so Crab Cake's coming out on top. She will be facing me next for her next match, and MetaLow moves down to the losers bracket, and he will face off against Crubblestar.
So about 29 seconds difference between our runners in Game 3. Crab Cakes officially 31-27, and MetaLow 32-06. You know, looking back at it, maybe MetaLow could have won this 2-0. A suicide drop going afoul in, you know, Game 1 could well have been the difference. I mean, it was a 15-second difference between the runners. We'll see if either one want to jump in for a little bit and chat about the race once we get confirmation one way or another. But at the end of it all, Crab Cakes is going to take this one 2-1, and as we've stated, go up against Mega Kyle. I don't know if Crab Cakes is going to jump in or not, but
I don't think it's typically Crab Cake's style to join for the interview, but I do see Crab Cakes here in the chat for SpeedGaming.
Well, I guess I'll have to interview you then in her stead, as I can only presume MetaLow is going to decline the invitation, as he tends to do most of the time.
Well, I was kind of hoping he would grace us for an interview, but you know, that's okay. That's his choice.
Well, it is an option. You know, it makes it a little more fun when you have the interview at the end. But you know, I don't think I've actually had the opportunity to interview MetaLow at the end of a match. So, you know, it is what it is. Yeah. So Mega Kyle,
Yes, Frico.
got your work cut out for you when you schedule this match coming up. So, what do you think? I mean, you did beat MetaLow in the first wildcard qualifier.
Yeah.
So I have Crabcakes here, who's beaten MetaLow 2-1. I have Mega Kyle on the other hand. How even of a match do you think this is going to end up being?
Well, I think this is just going to be, as difficult as it was, getting to this point. Both racers are very good. I'd say I'm pretty good as well. Hopefully, I did beat MetaLow. I can do the same. I'm not scared. I can do it again. Yeah, I'll race anybody. I just have fun.
Well, I guess is it a good thing or a bad thing that MetaLow is not your next opponent?
Oh,
we
have MetaLow. Welcome, MetaLow.
Yo.
Oh wow, this is a first. 3 years now, and I finally get you into the commentary booth.
Really?
Yes. The whole inaugural tournament, you declined interviews, and I never got a chance to interview you. So now I know you are actually a human being and not a robot, but take us through these 3 games. Was there anything that you felt you just kind of did wrong or did right? Something you could, adapt your strategy going forward as you try to work your way through the bottom bracket?
Not really, just miss the suicide drops and death.
Okay.
Then I'm not really good at the place, I guess. And for the last race, what's put me in is finding crash stage earlier without items. That's a huge loss. And the last race was the one I played the best of the 3 ones, so I lose on it. Nothing else to say. It's Iron Stem Age. It's like that. Not good luck on the robot I found. It's like that.
Well, all 3 races were very close, MetaLow. I'd like to tell you GG and thanks for giving us a good show to watch. It was very exciting.
Yes, thanks. And GG to Crab.
Yeah, good luck to you going forward. I believe you have Krebelstar next on the list. So what do you think about having to go through the losers bracket in the tournament? Do you think that will help you, or do you think it's just more potential opponents where you might accidentally take a second loss and be eliminated?
That's possible. It's Rondo, and I have to admit I am a bit rusty compared to last year. Last year I trained a lot, not this year, I don't have time. So maybe I lost a bit on it, but then, as I said, there is luck involved with Iron Stem Age, so anything can happen, and it's Rondo, so anything can happen, and I'm just gonna stick with my things and suicide drop every race. It's like that.
Okay. Alright, well, I can't fault you for having a plan and sticking to it, so hopefully it works out for you.
Thanks. We will see.
It was very cool seeing it in a race today. Nice swag there.
Thanks. That's my brand, I guess. I like it. And if I fail, I fail. It's like that. Swag points for the win.
Alright, well, anything else you want to say while you're here? I think, I've covered the big points that I wanted to bring up, but, if there's something else, the stage is yours, so go for it if you have anything you'd like to say.
The seeds were rough, and bad item placement, like the 2 first seed crash item as item 3, and eat other item 2. So it was
Heat and Crash
it was
both
rough.
had items 2 and 3 gated behind them. So
And item 2 in Crash on the last, I guess, on the last seed. So Crash always an item, and that's not good for the time. Yeah.
well, actually, bringing that up, do you have any kind of now it is randomizer, and Crash having an item gated behind it is certainly a possibility. Do you go into a seed saying, okay, I want to try to finish this seed no matter what it is in, let's say, 32 minutes or 31 minutes, 30 minutes even, and you go, if I can do this, I'm just going to win this seed just because.
I don't know. It's like that. I felt great on the last race because I didn't die, and I felt great. I thought I will win this, and I lost by 30 seconds. So this is an example. You can't know. It's Rondo.
Yeah, very true. Well, I think that 30-second difference was exactly what you brought up before, with unfortunately catching the crash and having to do the elevators without the benefit of the item 1 that I believe was in Airman stage.
Yeah, that's it. The elevator of shame.
So, I don't know how much of an actual loss it is when you add them all up, but it's got to be close to at least 30 seconds, and it seems to be a shame that this
it's long.
The whole match ends up getting decided by that. And it's not like Heatman where you can just opt out.
It's against time age. I just say that, and like it's involved. There on the last version, on the last tournament, there was routing that everyone was doing. Here, you just select stage, and for example, I always select right and then go counterclockwise. That's how I do, and item stage I found, and I guess everyone doing the same. So it's the same for everyone, and it's Rondo.
Well, actually, some of the runners, Crabcakes in particular, have adopted a strategy of right at the beginning actually resetting a couple times, looking for potential bosses. I believe Crabcakes in game 1 and 2 found where Heatman and Crashman were in the selection.
Yeah, I did too. I found them, but it's a strategy. You can reset. So on my own, I don't really like that. That's why on the first seed, I sticked with Airman, which was, I guess, a wrong decision. Because Airman first can be really rough, and I died twice, I guess. Maybe I should have reset.
Yeah,
but
you did die twice, because then you went right into Heatman and took an immediate game over to get out of that stage, and you only had to die once.
Yeah.
So
this is maybe the only huge mistake I made. I should have reset, I guess, for air first is a pain. It can be a pain, I mean. So the 3 stages you can reset are Eat, Crash, and Air, I guess. But looking for bosses is like can be a 20-second loss. So if you don't find Crash or Eat, yeah, that's a strategy. Personally, I don't like it. But maybe it have this be benefit for Crab. So it's
that's what Crabcakes did. Just to let you know, the first 2 runs it worked out, and I think Crabcakes did find Heat as the 4th stage and just got out of there immediately. I think both of you ended up getting sent into the pit by the first fan fiend that showed up in the Heat stage, so a net push between the 2. Aside from that, very flawless races from both of them.
Yep. Hitman stage always with the Fanquisition.
Very true. All right. Well, MetaLow, you have anything else again that you want to say? Because you know,
No, nothing. I get nothing else. Any question of you, maybe, but
well, I'm running out of questions myself. So, Mega Kyle, you have anything?
No, I'm all good here. Yeah. Thanks for joining us for the interview, MetaLow.
you're welcome.
Yeah, thank you, and good luck going forward, MetaLow.
Thanks.
Forward to your next couple races. Hopefully, you're able to run it back and see in the finals defending your title.
We will see, or we're gonna have a new champion.
Well, one of the two is definitely going to happen, I hope. Good luck to you, MetaLow, going forward, and thank you for joining us.
Thanks, guys. Thanks for you for commentating. And GG to Crab again.
Absolutely. And with that said, I think it's time to close it up for the day. Crab Cakes, our winner, 2-1 in this match in the upper bracket. MetaLow, being sent down to the loser's bracket, will face Krebelstar next in an elimination match between those two. Crab Cakes up against my commentating partner, Mega Kyle 83, in their next match.
That's right. We'll have to get that one scheduled.
So a winner's semifinal match between the two of you. The winner will move into the winner's final match against, let me look at the bracket. I believe Prodigy's floating around in the bottom side of the bracket, although I believe his opponent has yet to be determined. I believe Charlie Boy and Ren Hero are scheduled for Monday. And then the winner of that will face Kamasenin. So you could have Prodigy or any of the list of Charlie, Kamasenin, or Ren Hero for the winner of your match waiting for you in the winner's final.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see how that all shapes out. You know, we got the match between Charlie Boy and Ren Hero on Monday, so you know, come watch us again on Monday and see what happens.
Well, hopefully I will be doing a little bit of commentary for that, so I'll be here. And now it's on everybody else to be here. Monday, I believe 7 p.m., if I've remembered my time correctly. Ren Hero, you gotta have a little more faith than that. And it looks like 2% Chungus. Were you our tracker today? Yes, you were.
Yeah, I believe so.
All right, so a little bit of love out there for 2% Chungus. Jumping back into the tracker's spot. We didn't know what to do without you. You know, you were actually in the runs a couple times, so you know, it's all good. Plausible deniability, 2% Chungus. Deny everything. Deny everything. It's the right way to do it. But,
yeah, and going back to Ren Hero, don't count yourself out. You know, Charlie Boy will disqualify himself by doing those zips. You know.
Yeah, very true. So, with that said, I think it's time to make way for whatever happens to be next on the menu. So, with that said, I believe I've recapped everything. So, Mega Kyle, unless you have something else you'd like to say, I think I'm ready to say have a good night, everybody. And call it a night here for the Mega Man 2 Randomizer Tournament.
Cool. Well, thanks, SpeedGaming. Thank you, chat, for being here. Thank you, MetaLow and Crab Cakes, for putting on a great race for us. And thanks to 2% Chungus for tracking. Charlie Boy for organizing. Thanks, everybody. Good night.
All right. I will acquiesce to the chat here and say good night, Chungus. And with that, shut it down. We're done.